So in this video I'm going to be analysing Diogo Dalot's performance against Crystal Palace, showing you why I think he's perfectly suited to that inverted fullback role, whilst also going over some alterations I think Ten Hag could make to improve the possession system as a whole. So we start here with Dalot having the ball on the edge of the box, Palace sitting off in their 5-2-3 shape, and United in a 2-3 or a 3-2 build-up shape with Mazraoui wide in a traditional fullback position, and Dalot inverting infield to create a double pivot alongside Manu. Now as Dalot has the ball here, I think Onana needs to be slightly higher and slightly wider, becoming a temporary centre-back in possession, which will allow Lisandro Martinez to shift slightly wider, giving United a wider base to circulate the ball around Palace's front three. But that's just a minor tactical alteration that I would like to see, but without that we can still see how well suited Dalot is to this central area, as look at the intensity of his movement towards the ball. And the effect of this is that it forces Nketiah to hold a narrower position in order to cut off the passing lane into Dalot, which in turn opens up the passing lane out to Martinez, so that when he receives the ball, he has the space to stride forward into. But as Martinez receives the ball, I think Ten Hag has to give Xerxes more freedom in this phase of play, which would have allowed him to drop deeper into this massive space that's opened up between Kamada and Lerma a few seconds earlier to provide the passing lane as soon as Martinez receives the ball. And from him, Martinez could feed the ball into Xerxes' feet, and Xerxes can bounce the ball back into Dalot, who now not only would be receiving the ball facing goal, able to efficiently get the ball out of his feet and play forward, but Xerxes' deeper movement would have also dragged a Palace defender out of the back line, leaving space ahead for United to potentially exploit later on in the move. Now Xerxes does eventually make the movement deeper into this area, but it's just too late as Nketiah comes across and he's able to close off this passing lane. However, Martinez does well to hold his composure and find Eriksen with a pass out to the flank, and this is where we see Dalot's ability in central areas come into play. If he was receiving the ball from Xerxes, Dalot would be in a more functional position to play forward, but receiving the ball from out wide means that he isn't facing forward, but it also increases the proximity of Kamada, and so immediately after receiving possession, Dalot is under pressure from the Crystal Palace central midfielder. But Dalot's influence on this piece of play is ultimately what allows United to work the ball in behind the Palace midfield. But before I show you what that was, if you want to check out any of the new season jerseys, go over to Jersey FIFA. They've also got club and international retro jerseys. A link will be in my Instagram bio, which will be linked in the description, and use code Atlantis at checkout for a discount. So Dalot's ball control and vision is good enough to enable him to play out the pressure by quickly shifting the ball from one foot to the other, and then being able to use his left foot to play a quick pass into the centre, where both Manu and Bruno Fernandes are the three men positioned between Palace's left-sided midfielder Eze and the left-sided central midfielder Kamada, which is a situation that's been created by United dropping an extra player in Dalot into that central zone, dragging Kamada high, and even though the pass is slightly overhit, the space created is such that Bruno Fernandes can pick up the ball in behind the Palace midfield line, and United can now circulate the ball to the other side, and once Ahmad receives the ball on the outside of the fullback, now Mazraoui can use his athleticism to provide a powerful overlapping run ahead of Ahmad, enabling him to then cut inside into a shooting position. And this individually was a very promising move, but I don't think United used a quick switch of play out to Ahmad and utilising Mazraoui on the overlap enough throughout this game, as with Palace using a back five and a narrow midfield and front line, the obvious pattern of play would be to do exactly what United did in this move, drawing the Palace midfield over to one side before exploiting the space between the central midfield double pivot and the wide midfielders to then release Ahmad and Mazraoui in a 2v1 or a 1v1, and Dalot was crucial to doing this in this move, as I don't think Casemiro or Ugarte have the same level of technical ability under pressure or the vision to link play from Eriksen's pass out to Manu and Bruno Fernandes in the centre. But it wasn't just in the build-up phase where Dalot showcased his qualities centrally, he also did it in the final third multiple times as well. Here as Eriksen's about to receive the ball on the right side, the left back Dalot has taken up a central position in that area wide of Palace's narrow front five, with not only a clear passing lane open from Eriksen into him, but also a fair amount of space in front close to the box. As soon as Dalot receives possession, however, Lacroix does well to move out assertively to stop Dalot being able to drive forward, but in doing so he vacates the space in the back line, opening up a gap between the right wing back Muniz and the central centre back Guehi, who's picking up Xerxes. And Garnacho, as he did a few times throughout this game, makes a run in behind down the outside of Muniz, and Dalot, despite initially looking like he got the ball caught under his feet slightly, with very little warning due to his short and quick movement, threads the ball through the space that Lacroix has vacated with the perfect weight to find Garnacho in the box so that he can hit it first time. And to be fair, Garnacho is very unlucky, but a chance was created through Dalot moving into that central position and having the vision and technique to find Garnacho's run. And I don't think that there's too many fullbacks in the league that could pull off that sort of pass or have that sort of vision.